I can only breathe through one nostril. Is that a problem?
That's fine.
Nope.
I thought you were dead.
Sun out of your eyes and be yourselves.
Heard you were dead.
She's dead, wrapped in plastic.
That man's dead back there.
It was worse than dead. Must be dead. Is this a dead man, Doctor?
Hello, welcome back to the Roast Mortem Podcast, the only podcast you shouldn't listen to at work, but if you get your boss to listen to it, he will give you a raise 100% guaranteed. I am Tom.
I'm Travis.
I am Cody. None of that is legal.
100% legal.
Yeah. How's everyone's week this week?
It's different.
Fucking humid. Ball soup.
I went camping with Brazilians again.
Oh, you went camping with Brazilians?
Still alive, I see.
I went in a canoe right after I'd gotten sunscreen in my eye. Me and Gabby were paddling up this river.
They all don't use sunscreen.
No, they don't need to. They use bronzer. But I had sunscreen in my eye, and I had to, like, Stevie Wonder an oar all the way up this river. I just couldn't see shit. It was a good time, though.
Oh, shit.
You didn't get sunburnt eyes, I'm noticing right now.
No, actually, I did put a little bronzer on my face exclusively.
I could tell.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it looks great.
I look fucking
You look
tight.
You look like an Amazonian man, so not like an Amazonian.
I love this visual bit for the one time we don't have the Twitch stream going.
My week was good. I think my lobster might have died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it crawled out.
Your crawdad.
Blue one.
Well, you know, he's a lobster. Full-blown freshwater lobster.
Oh, shit, look at that.
Well, you mentioned you were cussing at him.
Yeah, I bought some clams. Bought some snails.
Yeah.
And they take a little while before they can kind of come out of their shell. They're trapdoors. So, like, the trapdoor swings shut. So once they're walking around, the lobster can't kill it. But when you drop them in, they're like, oh, what am I doing?
You gotta give them time to move in.
Yeah. So the snail was kind of like half open. And I was like trying to shoo the lobster away. I was like, fuck you, dickhead dad. Fuck you.
Right. So
I think he just crawled out of the tank. It was like, fuck off, I'm going to die. And it was $20, dude.
$20
It was
crawdad.
a pretty blue one.
I just want to let you know, you can get probably about 30 of them for $20.
But those are dead and delicious.
They're dead.
No, you can get them live. You gotta go to the right shop.
You can fucking
They're
resuscitate.
not blue.
You can resuscitate those.
Find a Korean friend. Ask him where to get them.
Well, that's how you can get by a bullfrog.
That's right. Nice soup.
Very true.
Okay, so what do we have going on this evening?
What's happening?
Well, we're doing a show.
Thank you.
Are you going to ask me the question?
Yeah, well, who's on the chopping block?
Tonight, we are doing a man, a dog, a child boy. His name is Martin Luther.
Whoa.
Not to be mistaken with Martin Luther King.
He's coming
Another.
later.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. So tonight we're roasting Martin Luther, the religious renegade, leader of the Protestant rebellion, and most importantly, a actual shit eater.
Really?
Yes. And we're going to get into that.
Of course we're going to get into
I'm not
that
going to
shit.
tell you right now, but he ate shit.
Was he a suckler or a what kind of shits did he eat?
Did he gnash or did he suck?
Well, he's German.
He gnashed.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Scheiße.
he wanted it caught in his teeth for weeks.
Ooh, yeah.
Both of those teeth.
He would use a water pick to get it out.
That is incredibly advanced for the 1500s.
I know, dog.
Did I get
Well,
that right?
anyway.
Is that the right time?
Yeah, 1500.
Hey, not bad.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cody.
Because I wasn't drunk earlier.
All right, so I know what everyone is thinking right now.
No, you don't.
No, I do. He's that dude that uses a printing press. I learned about in the 6th grade in world history. Probably one of the most boring parts of the year. Right? Did you guys feel that way?
I don't remember, so
You don't
probably
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
What I was
Me
thinking
not remembering
was,
is agreeing with you.
He was the TLDR fuck. That's the only way I know him as.
TLDR?
Too long, did not read. You have
okay.
95 of these fucking things.
Yeah.
Can you collapse it? And the answer was no, and I did not read.
Yeah, well, you still can read. Well, I don't know. I felt the same way. I remember reading about this dude. I was like, this is fucking boring. But don't get rid of our podcast right now.
'Twas important.
Don't
Don't
get rid
stop.
of it.
Don't stop. Don't stop, won't stop. Because there is so much dirt about this dude that you did not learn about in school. And we're going to roast the shit out of him right now.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
is just a very amorphous, ambiguous guy to me. He was like the guy that did the thing that probably actually didn't happen. Right?
Maybe.
You know, your vagueness is making me tense.
Yeah.
Titillating. That's what I'm
Yes.
trying to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
the suspense of this episode.
Call
So,
me Hitchcock.
so why do you guys think, if this is the most boring part of world history that I ever felt, why do you think I got inspired by this?
You get inspired by some weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask why.
Well, I'll tell you the weird shit that I got inspired by.
Tell me.
So I knew that he ate shit. That was like one of the only funny
right.
things I knew about Martin Luther.
you got to keep doing that. You got to
Right.
like. Is this?
We're
this
gonna get there.
proverbial or literal or figurative even?
We're gonna get there, dude. Shut up.
Fuck you.
But anyway, so I knew that he ate shit. So I was talking to a friend. I was like, and I used the term Martin Luthering, referring to that you're eating shit, right?
That's
Having some problems with your boss. I was like, dude, you're Martin Luthering. So I went to the most credible source on the internet,
of shit eating.
Urban Dictionary. And I looked up what Martin Luthering was. And I'll read you the Urban Dictionary.
I remember these tweets.
Yeah. The sexual act of pinning a girl against a wooden door and penetrating her traditional values, also known as Martin Luthered. And here's an example. Freaky Frank says, "Yo, Molly, did you like when I pinned you against that wooden door of your room and nailed you so hard?" Molly says, "Yeah, you were Martin Luthering me."
Travis, did you make that up? Did
You
you
know-
put that submission on fucking
I did
Urban
not.
Dictionary?
This is
It sounds
fact.
like you fucking wrote that.
I'm just going to throw this one out there. Urban Dictionary is terrible. We could do it better.
That was
Tom,
great.
it actually-
No,
Tom,
that
We
was
can,
great.
we can do it better.
Tom, it actually stands up in court.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Are you serious?
We can do it better. Well, we stand
Urban
up on
Dictionary
theses.
stands up in the American justice system. Because if someone's like, yo, I'm ghostwriting the whip while the vehicular manslaughter occurred, Your Honor has to look up what ghostwriting the whip is. So, Urban
right.
Dictionary stands up in most U.S. courts.
Well, that would be a silly
that's
thing
what I
to
was saying.
do.
It's credible. It's a
Don't
very
want to live
credible
on
source.
this planet
That's a-
anymore.
Terrible way to treat an Impala.
Well, it inspired me to learn, dude. And let's jump into the episode.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Do it.
So Martin Luther was born November 10th, 1483
Oh.
in the town of Elsenburg in the Holy Roman Empire. And where's that? It's mainly Europe.
Byzantine.
But no, it's all of Europe. But specifically, he was born in modern day Germany.
Okay.
Okay.
What part of Germany? Did
What's
you get
there to
that part?
do?
Elsenburg. I don't know.
How do we know it now?
Was it mountainous?
I think it was like middle Germany. I looked it up. I don't know.
Let's
Okay,
go to
let's keep
mid-Germany.
going.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go to mid-Germany.
So this little bratwurst was baptized Catholic and raised Catholic. His family was fairly well off. His father, Hans, had worked his way out of peasantry
Hans.
and owned a stake in a mine. So he's from a mining town, essentially.
Yeah.
Hardworking, rough hands.
The imagery of just like
Yeah.
that one steak.
Dude,
own
I
it.
saw that. There's one steak dinner deep in the mine. He doesn't know how to get to it, but it's fucking
It's his. He's got mineral rights.
It's
to this.
his.
That's mine.
Don't touch it.
Get off my flank.
He owns that steak.
Oh, yeah. Man, I could just see him protecting that shit for days.
That's a very
Wait.
childish joke, but it's fun.
We
This
did
is
it.
why we're here.
I think of very rough hands.
must say.
And also, a lot of people don't know this, but in Germany and most of Europe, women also would work in the mines too.
I thought you were going to say women also have hands.
They also have rough, rigid hands.
So his father, Hans, had incredible hands.
Yeah, and his mother also had rough palms, but it was rumored that she made a little money on the side polishing some flesh swords.
Oh.
Yeah, so with those rough, callous hands.
That's how you work your way
Start
out of
some
peasantry.
fires.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, well, when you said his father worked his way out of peasantry, something I would like to point out is that that's impossible. You have to win a serious card game. You got to tug the right person.
Get it.
Back then, you don't just work for it. Something happens.
Oh, yeah. It's at least a tug job and a murder.
Yeah, peasantry is that you owe the king something for no reason, forever.
A little blowy.
Right, so once you start blowing, maybe you can get out of there.
Yeah, I agree. So his parents had high, imagine coming out of peasantry, his parents had very high hopes for Martin. They wanted to elevate him out of that shit so he didn't have to work in a
Marty.
mine and shit.
Okay.
So he was also a really bright kid, and his parents really made sure that he was doing his schoolwork by beating the shit out of him
Yeah, there you go.
That always helps.
Nah.
with a stitch.
A stitch.
Stitch from a tree?
Yeah, dog.
Well, back then, it was very hard to take off your belt back then because it just went on once and it disintegrated, and you'd put another one on. It was made out of a cow intestine.
Yeah, so this grew into like a lifelong hatred towards his father that like is very. I hate my dad.
Yeah.
I hate my dad.
You
my
beat
dad.
kids, they hate you.
Wait,
Are you
gotta
sure
do it
he's
in
not Scottish?
Wait, you got to do it in a German accent.
I hate my father. My father drinks Hefeweizens. I hate Hefeweizens. Drinking Hefeweizens.
All right, so Hans wanted Martin to become a lawyer specifically, so he enrolled him in a Latin school in a town called Mansfeld, and he learned his trivium, which was grammar, rhetoric, and logic.
Trivium's a real word.
Yes, I thought it was just a band,
You know what
Yeah.
it means, right?
like a shitty band.
You know what? Their first couple albums were
They're
very
right.
good.
Yeah,
they were
they're-
very
yeah.
good. They kinda,
Trivium means the three-way.
well, sexual. Well, there's 4 members in the band. So
that's
explain
fucked.
that.
Oh,
But it
that's
makes
four-way.
sense what Travis said.
Yeah.
There's 3 parts of... say
Well,
it again?
It's grammar, rhetoric, and logic.
Yeah, 3 trivium.
Thank you.
Martin Luther would later compare this time in school to purgatory or hell. He did not like his school.
Don't we all?
Drama.
Very true. Yeah.
Don't we all? I don't know. How do you guys feel about high school?
I mean, this wasn't
hate
even
it.
high school. This is grade school.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I hated school. You guys know me.
Yeah.
I barely
It's
got
all right.
out.
So during this time, people noticed that Martin Luther had this obsession with God. He would claim to see visible manifestations of the devil
Ah.
when he was tempted by sin.
Ookie.
What was his number one sin that he participated in?
He participated in?
Yeah, that he would see the devil when he was doing this.
Well, in a broader sense, I would say goofing off.
Just goofing.
Just goofing. That's a sin.
Idle hands are the hands of the devil. So, yes. I'm doubling down what Tom says.
Yeah, well, you're the closest.
Oh.
Masturbation. The guy was jerking off
Yeah.
all the time. He's beating his meat.
How
He
old
was
is
a man that jerked.
How old is he?
Just all through his life, his entire life.
Beating
Actually, the book I read said that he was in a losing battle with masturbation.
Wow, did that book have a hole in it?
How do you lose? It's a win-win. It's a literal
it's
win-win.
Yeah. After grade school, he went to the University of Ertsfurt.
Just imagining jacking off like, oh, I lost! Fuck! and then just giving up and eating an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. So he went to this Ertsfurt University that he called a whorehouse and beer hall. So you can imagine this dude's very fun to be around. You know what I mean? College is just basically one big mono fest where you just touch each other's mouths and lips.
I'm confused of the smells of a whorehouse beer hall. It's just like, what is that?
It smells
Hey,
great.
if you could smoke inside, it's fine. You can't smell any of it.
Exactly. Martin had none of that shit. He'd be up at 4 a.m. every day for, in his words, a day of rote learning, often weary spiritual physical exercises.
Peen touching?
Yes. So he'd just be up, at 4 a.m. doing his prayers.
My good spirits. My spirits. Oh, my spirits.
In 1505, he received his master's, and his father expected him to go to law school because his dad has dumped a lot of money into this fucking dude.
Yeah, especially
I mean?
Peen
from
jerker.
peasantry.
From peasantry.
Yeah.
Now, Martin, I've worked very hard. Your mother has put many of flesh
Stop
to
talking.
make sure you're going to school and doing the right things, becoming a lawyer.
Stop touching yourself. Please, I'm
Yes.
trying to talk
I'm
to
trying
you.
to talk.
Please stop. Son.
Dad,
Son.
I'm so close, Dad.
Go to your room.
So
Go
he's
to your room
Wait,
again.
no, stay in the family room.
In front of this tarp.
I've got a broom for you.
It should be a squeegee if you want to be. if you want to be labor effective. I'm suddenly Indian. How did this happen?
So his dad wants him to Judge Judy that shit up. And Martin's like, Martin begrudgingly drags his ass to fucking law school. Shortly after the first semester starts,
Right.
he experienced a divine intervention.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
That just means God interrupted you.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably jerking off.
He was in the middle of jerking off. Something
yeah.
happened, but he wasn't mad about it.
So I'll tell this story, but you can imagine him jerking off the whole time.
Through most of this story.
Right. So he had just taken a brief trip home.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say he might have had an argument with his dad about what we're going to talk about.
Jerking off?
Yeah, not jerking off.
The other thing. His dad was over it.
So he's coming back from university on horseback. The sky opens up and there's a torrential downpour, and Martin is riding through this thunderstorm, and a lightning bolt strikes a few yards from him off the path.
Not his erect penis.
Yeah, well, he's raging right now.
Always.
So Martin sees this divine intervention and fears for his life and cries out to the heavens, "Help, Saint Anna! I will become a monk!"
Oh, don't never say that. Because you might be helped. And you might be stuck a monk.
Yeah, so he took that as like a solemn vow that he would have to become a monk.
Oh.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. So he dropped out of law school and joined the St. Augustine Monastery. And his father was fucking pissed off. Because some people think that he went home to be like, Dad, I kind of want to join the monastery. And he just used this whole fucking lightning bolt shit as like an excuse.
It was one lightning bolt. Dude, get back in there.
Yeah.
Do you
It
think
didn't hit you. You couldn't say those vows faster than the lightning hit, so you're full of shit.
Yeah, you're fine, dude.
Do you think every bug that goes into the bug zapper gives up being a fucking lawyer?
Right, so like now he's a monk. And like monks don't make any money. Anyone could be a monk.
Yeah, how
You know what I mean?
You
Like-
just said that. How easy is it, Travis?
You literally show up to the monastery like, I want to give my life to the Lord.
You just
I
show-
want to wear brown and I want to shave the top of my head.
Yeah.
Give me that
look like an
burlap.
idiot.
You just show up and you're just like monk me, like you got to the end on checkers.
Yeah,
Like, monk
you could be a
me.
fucking
Yeah.
criminal, and you're like fucking crunk me.
It's like playing checkers, but there's no
Is
one
that
else.
what crunk is? Just criminal monks?
Yeah,
Sorry, Tom. What was that?
It's like playing checkers, but there's no one playing against you. Getting to the monk me phase is pretty easy.
1, 2, there.
right. So we know that Martin is a devout religious nerd,
Got it.
right? Mm-hmm. Not the most fun type of dude. Very serious about this shit.
Always coming very serious.
Yeah, he's jerking off. Seriously,
Okay.
he's feeling guilty about jerking off.
There's only one way to do it.
Yeah. By the time he entered the monastery, he
One
was
way.
Yeah. Well,
One way street there.
One-way
It's all
street.
guilt.
all guilt. By the time he entered the monastery, he was very good at jerking off in private, but he had a very interesting view on religion and philosophy. Because if he didn't go into law school or the monastery, his real love was philosophy.
Okay.
The one person he liked in particular was Aristotle.
Can we do a quick recap on what he was about? Give me a sentence of what Aristotle was into.
He was all about like reason and like the reason why people did things, right? So everything had like a reaction, you know.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
action reaction.
Action, reaction.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. He had sound thinking, but he used circular logic. He stated when something sank, it was supposed to sink, and when something, light enough to rise in the air rose, it was because it was light enough in the air to rose.
Yeah.
So it was.
Oh, so, all right.
It is
One of
what it
those
is.
assholes.
Yeah, he was essentially the ancient guy that was the first fucker to say it is what it is.
Exactly.
So like when people say it was meant to be.
No, those are just fuckheads.
Well, I mean that's Aristotle too, according to
So he was very into Aristotle, but he felt unfulfilled with philosophy because the way he saw it was that philosophy was based on the reason of man, but didn't focus on the love of God at all.
It's different. Philosophy is different from religion. Like
Right.
that's what you. Philosophy literally means the love of reason, or
Yep.
no, love of knowledge.
Yeah.
If you have a actual understanding of philosophy, you don't really need a religion. Like they both they both fill a similar void.
Right. Yeah. So it's like use philosophy on man, but that doesn't do any good for God.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a different application.
Right. So yeah, his whole belief was reason cannot lead men to God. Therefore, let me read this. I'm getting very deep right now, dog.
Get deep,
Getting
motherfucker.
deep, dude. All right. Getting super deep.
Get under the brown cloth.
Get like
Reason could only be used to question men and institutions, but human beings could only learn about God through divine revelations or the scripture.
that. Okay.
Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is that human beings need to read the scriptures if they don't understand what a philosophy be it.
Or shake hands with the God man himself, is what it sounds like.
What I'm essentially saying is, fuck reason. Listen to the mystery man in the sky.
Oh, okay. So he's not really
Or
into
would it-
philosophy.
Yeah, he's not really into philosophy.
Yeah. No, I really like philosophy. It's like when you meet a girl and she's like, "Oh, I really like death metal," and they don't like death metal.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Those. Yeah, I love those. I'm all about death
It's
metal.
all about it.
I love Linkin Park.
I was
essentially.
reaching for something, and you outdid me on the reach. I was gonna say something like Kiss, but he's like, no, Linkin Park's worse.
That is him. He's like, yeah, I like it, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I tried so hard to learn about it and got so far.
Got so far.
All right. So another one of his ethos was that he was obsessed with poop.
Pooping?
Yeah, we're gonna get into him
He's
eating
a
poop.
scatological being.
Yeah. We're
Would
gonna,
he like the act of pooping? Like, what did he like to watch, or did he like to find it?
Now, did he like the
did-
dark poop or the light poop?
he goes a lot into poop. He goes a lot into poop right now.
All right.
Did
So
he sear it,
he was
or was it
constant.
tartar?
Wait, hold on. Say that again, Cody.
Did he sear it, or was it tartar?
Oh, it was tartar. It was right from the source. Free range,
Earthy.
earthy, alumi.
Mash it up with a wooden spoon.
Yeah. So he would constantly talk about taking shits or licking people's buttholes. But there was kind of like how Germans spoke in the 1500s.
Oh,
like
yeah,
they would just be like, "Oh, lick a butthole."
Sure.
Like that was like what they'd say to someone.
Thank you, Shane. Bist du lick an anus?
Lick an anus.
Anuse.
But this was normal. Like,
That was like how people spoke. Like eating poop, not normal. But like talking about licking someone's butthole or like eat shit or
Why
like,
was that normal?
so wait, hold on. We're doing full circle back to 2018, where all these kids online talk about eating ass.
Yeah, I know. 1500s Germany, all about
Analingus.
that, dude.
Wow.
SoundCloud rappers.
Can you even fathom how bad this is going to get? Like 2020, it's going to be like suck a line of diarrhea,
Yeah, dude.
snort it.
Snort the Rita.
Yeah.
Ooh, all the cool kids.
All about that Rita,
It's
dude.
getting bad.
Yeah.
When is Little Poop going to come out on SoundCloud?
Little poop.
He's
little-
constipated. He'll
little-
come out eventually.
He has rainbow teeth. Yeah. Woo.
Oh yeah, rainbow brown. It's just different types of beige he has in his grill.
So, coming from a mining town, Martin Luther.
Why is that funny? Why
Mining
the
and
fuck
poop.
did that tickle me?
Yeah, he
Sorry.
came from a mining town. He saw the parallels between the mineral-rich earth and the fact that the ground would swell up with ore and sprout trees and life. And he thought, well, that's kind of like the dirt that we produce from our butthole.
The butt poop.
This is just like that. I have found a miracle.
Or are you Indian again?
I found this is. Am I Indian?
Yeah, you're Indian, dude.
Oh god damn it! This is just like that. Why is that so hard to say as a German person?
This is just like that. Yeah, it is weird.
Das ist
Das is like this.
das ist eine Puppy-Tree.
No, that's like in
That-
dirt.
Das ist eine Miracle.
Yeah. So with that, he was.
Scheiße.
Yeah, he would eat a spoonful of his own poop every day.
Puts hair on your chest.
Yeah.
Good for your immune system. It's good for your reflexes.
Oh my goodness.
What else? Strengthens your uvula and gag reflex.
Yeah,
Makes
dude.
your nails surprisingly clean.
Gets it all the dirt out.
Yeah. Can't think of any other benefits to eating shit.
Travis,
Travis, what was that quantity again?
A spoonful.
when you say any
just a
other,
spoonful of poopy,
It's a
makes
German
the poo-poo.
spoonful. It's a German spoonful.
that's a stein, my friend. Everything's measured in steins.
Look at
Have you
it.
ever seen a German cake? It's
Look
very
at it.
big.
Yeah, it's very big.
I many of time have walked into a bar and asked for a German spoonful.
Ah, did you get poop?
No, I got lager.
All right, being a astute, learned man of the spoken word.
You can't say that after he's eating poop. You
No.
lose the learned status
No,
as
this
soon
guy-
as you eat poop.
I mean, people.
Somebody shows up and takes diplomas away from you once they heard you've eaten poop.
All right, well, they didn't know he was eating poop, or maybe they did. They didn't
Oh, he's
care.
a secret
All right,
poopy.
so
They
where,
didn't care.
where are you going with this point, though?
All right, so being an astute, learned man of the spoken word, he would often write about his butthole a lot, in depth. All
Wow.
the interactions of his butthole.
Did he give it
Okay.
a name?
No, he didn't name his butthole, but he gave an in-depth account on his hemorrhoids.
Really?
Yes. and I will read this for you right now.
Do you have to?
Yeah. When emptying my bowels, the flesh around the border of my anal region would be pushed out, swelling to the size of a walnut,
That's a prolapse.
in which a mustard seed sized wound spot would appear. This spot would be sorer and when my bowels were looser and less painful during harder poos. If mixed with blood, there would be a slight relief
Oh, yeah.
and almost pleasure when pooping. So I was often inclined to defecate. And if touched with a finger, it itched pleasurably and the blood flowed.
What nationality was he?
Jamin.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. This is a man of the
He's-
Lord.
Yeah, we
He's
know
touching things. Things are bleeding.
we know all about Martin Luther's butthole.
You know, if all of his acquaintances were alive today and heard this,
Yeah.
probably be pretty upset they shook his hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's itching his fucking hemorrhoids.
He's always just touching his little butthole.
Yeah. Ooh.
Man of.
This sounds like a joke that we would make.
I'll make it right now.
But it's
This is truth.
I'll make it right now.
That's his words. That's Martin Luther.
Martin Luther and the 95 Feces.
Oh,
Everyone was thinking it. I said it. I said it.
It's a great segue, Cody, because we're gonna start getting into species.
What are those?
So Martin Luther, he's now a Catholic monk, right? You know, he's in.
Because he wished it one summer.
He's touching his butthole. He's jerking off.
He's wearing brown robes.
And the church said, come on in,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, exactly. The church was like, "Whoa, this is our boy." So, so he starts to see something really fucked up in the Catholic Church, and then there's a lot of things to see fucked up in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I mean, we got plenty to go on.
There's
but-
stuff. There's stuff.
But we all know it.
But his big problem was handing out indulgences.
Aha.
Now, indulgences were basically, I make the analogy of like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, coupons.
Sort of like a coupon.
Coupons,
in the
motherfucker.
Yeah, in the afterlife. So Catholics believe in purgatory, where there's this place.
You say that weird.
Purgatory?
Purgatory?
I
No.
said purgatory. I was drunk.
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Yes. excuse
So
me.
they believe in purgatory. It's like this place between heaven and hell before you can go to heaven or before you go to hell, where you're like judged. You have to deal with. You're punished for all the sins you've done.
It's like the DMV, but there's no. What do they have in New York State? We have fun facts that you can read at the DMV, and
This is
statistics,
manslaughter.
And they tell you all about the hottest movies to see at Hollywood in the moment in the DMV, but they didn't have any of that.
Exactly.
It was just brown paintings.
Oh,
That's what purgatory is.
hemorrhoids.
It's a very fluorescently lit room with brown paintings.
So, according to scripture, do you know what purgatory is mostly full of?
no.
Unbaptized babies.
Isn't that limbo?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is.
No, limbo is different. Limbo is if you're not
God.
if you're not dying,
Oh.
or you're between life and death.
I thought didn't they just got rid of limbo like 2 years ago.
The game is great. No one got rid of anything.
They just like
But-
mash it together like kindergarten and first grade.
You know, you get injured and you're like in a coma. That's like
Oh, when you
kind of
see
a
the
limbo.
light and shit.
Yeah, it's like a moment could last an eternity in limbo. Like if you get
It's
hit.
dreaming, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's dreaming. You get hit by a car, you go unconscious. You're in
dreaming.
limbo.
All right.
It's like the closest thing is a coma, really. That's between
The
life and
lip is
death. But purgatory is after that. That's when you're
dead.
That's when you're dead. There's no coming back from purgatory. Limbo,
fuck
you
what I
can
said.
come back from.
Okay. Anything else about limbo?
No.
Limbo is a great game that Jamaicans play.
Jamaicans? Like
Yeah, we've seen the ankles. of
Miss
Jamaican-
Conrad.
Oh, all right.
And it's also true in real life.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're in this. Say if you die, you're in purgatory, right?
Sure.
There's a way through indulgences where when you're living, you can pay the church a sizable donation to get rid of a little bit of the waiting time. You could skip the line. Like, have you been to an amusement park recently?
No.
no,
But I know where
I'm
you're
an
going.
adult.
Yeah, and there's those fuckers. You're waiting online. You're waiting online the entire time.
Are you talking about fast passes?
Yeah, and they have a fucking fast pass.
Do you know?
Fuck
there-
'em.
Do you know a lot of those places? The fast passes have gotten so popular. There's a premium fast pass.
I'm
That's
sure.
what fucking indulgences are.
That's what I mean. But imagine indulgences, but better.
Oh,
Faster
indulgent.
Right, like you go to a place like Disney World and they give you the fast pass, but then there's so many people buying it that they had to make a better fast pass for people to just go right in.
Fucking waste of money.
It's like a $500
garbage,
ticket or
dude.
something like that.
It's
I don't know.
stupid.
I don't know the number on it, but
But that's what the Catholic Church was doing. They were basically selling the fast pass.
Through purgatory.
And Martin Luther's like, this is donkey dicks. Because, that's stupid.
It's shit.
he's just worried because he's touching his butthole.
Yeah.
And like,
And
Does
jerking
that
off.
worry you?
well, look, he's got his theories, but he could also be like, maybe God isn't into butt touching.
Yeah, he's touching his butt so much. He's like, how much do I have to pay?
Yeah, so the legend goes that he nailed his 95 Theses to the door of the All Saints Church in Wittenberg, but actually probably didn't nail it. Probably just sent a nice little letter in the mail.
Yeah, because it makes sense in retrospect. It's like, they're just going to take that down, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he could have said nailed it because, like, he finishes writing it, and like the last period, he's just like, nailed it.
Fucking nailed
Yeah,
it.
nailed it, guys.
All right, Cody's going to talk a little bit about these 95 Theses as our resident theologist over here.
Ugh. I read most of them. I got up to like 18. Yeah, there's like fucking 95 of these. You'd think these would be bullet points. They're not actually bullet points. It's like one long thought that takes fucking 95 turns. So imagine it as like a fucking MapQuest document that tells you how to get to the final document. And if you fuck anything up, you're just in Albuquerque. If you take some and leave others, you just end up in Albuquerque.
Every time.
Every fucking time.
Yeah.
And Travis said it earlier. You give a man in a big hat money, and your dead people that are on your team get happier.
Right.
And it's fucked up because even in the 95 Theses, Martin Luther himself, an opponent of the Theses, is calling poor people essentially the equivalent of assets.
That's fucked.
It is fucked as shit.
Especially because his parents came from peasants.
Yeah, he was using the word treasure because assets didn't exist, but he was saying poor people are a money-making tool of the church.
He's not wrong.
Well, yeah.
No, he's not, because
He's not.
poor people are like, there's multiple lines of logic, and like one of the more obtuse ones is like poor people are more likely to steal and sin.
Poor people are more likely to play lottery.
Yeah, that too. And
Scratchies.
steal and gamble, which would require absolvement, which would require the purchasing of indulgences by offspring. So it's just like, hey, we can make more money on these downtrodden folk than the folk that can actually earn their meals and keep their stay.
See, I think the problem the Pope had in the Catholic Church is they should have done it in scratch cards. Like, oh, you want to buy some indulgences?
Take him in scratch.
Take them in the scratch card.
give you
Oh,
a
you got
dollar.
an indulgence!
Oh, look at this.
Congratulations.
Whoa.
Must be redeemed within the next 30 days. Must be scratching butthole the entire time.
Say
Not valid in Hawaii or
7
Alaska.
Hail Marys.
Yeah.
While scratching your butt hemorrhoids.
You know what you just won? Silver dust.
Ow!
All right, let's move along into the segment.
That's it?
That's all I got, man.
All
It's
right.
fucked up. It's don't pay no big-headed religious wizard man money to make your
Yeah,
dead
dog.
people comfortable.
Well, the
rough.
the current analogy we can make to this is how extremely conservative folks say if you vote for us to have less restrictions on our huge corporations that are already raping you, we will give you the opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
knowing,
very true.
Not knowing that they're basically just selling their time away instead of money. It's just like it's indentured slavery if you think about
Yeah,
it.
that's like
people who work hourly. It's the same goddamn thing.
It's how they
Yeah.
get one over on you.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's capitalist indulgences.
Exactly. So
Well,
that's the modern day version of that.
Yeah, what was the old-timey rhyme? A coin in the coffer rings, a soul from Purgatory Springs.
I don't know that one.
I know that you order Domino's online, get it
That
soon.
you undermined my entire support of.
Don't worry about that
your-
though, dog. You just order it and you're like, hey, check out this, and then you put it in the metal theme.
I'm gonna
It's like
ruin
your
your audio.
order's ready.
Oh, jeez.
And with that appraisal of the 95 Theses, we have something in store for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From the creators of Shark Tank and Dragon's Den, we now bring you to Oyster Cloister, featuring Clement the Seventh.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Pope Clement VII.
Hello, clown.
If you don't know how this show works, is that we're gonna have some ideas. We're gonna get people to heaven.
You
today.
buying ideas?
Yes.
Oh.
And for the live studio audience, we are going to talk about how to get people heaven the best. And I will be the judge because I am the host, and I'm also the best because I'm the Pope. You can't argue with this. Am I right? Oh. Thank you very much for tuning in. So tonight we have a Martin Luther.
Martin Luther.
He's going to talk about his silly ideologies behind getting to heaven. And one thing I will ask you, Martin Luther, just so the audience can understand you, is what's up with your butthole?
Well, I like my butthole a lot. I will write some things about my butthole.
That's very funny.
Hi.
That's very funny. Thank you very much, Martin Luther, for coming in. And in the other side,
I like my butthole.
And then on the other side, we got a more traditional approach, which is probably working in some respect. I know so because I'm the Pope, but we got Cardinal Linston.
Hello.
Now, what's going on, Cardinal Linston?
Hello.
Yeah, thank you, Cardinal Linston, for joining us again on this episode
My pleasure. Hello.
of the Oyster Cloister.
Well, I would like to talk about my butthole for a while. Is that all right, Clement?
That's fine. What I'm gonna do now is gonna ask each one of us is how.
No, but my butthole.
No, we're done with your butthole, Martin.
Oh, but my butthole is itching.
Quit your butthole
It's
talk.
itching.
I'm gonna cut at you. We're gonna cut this, all right? Live taping, okay? Anyway, so between Cardinal Liston and Martin Luther, we're gonna talk about how's the best way to get to heaven.
Got it.
Okay, so let me hear you first. Who would like to go first?
I want to go first.
All right, Cardinal Liston.
Balsa wood ladders. We just grow balsa wood with fucking holy water, and we bless it day in and day out and massage its roots, and that's how we get people, the spirits, to go up into the heavens with balsa wood ladders in a tensioned A-frame pattern of my patented design. Patent pending.
Now, that's very good. Shut up, Martin.
Hey, I got a good idea.
Shut
you
up,
can use
Martin.
that balsa wood in my butthole.
And here's
right,
the
well-
cleverness. We make a separate ladder for the Jews that's all lubed up.
Oh, you're a dark man. But look, I got a serious question for you. Cardinal Liston.
Yeah.
Isn't balsa wood soft? It's very soft.
It's lightweight. It's not soft. It's lightweight.
I think it's
lightweight.
I think it breaks easy.
No.
Okay, well that's interesting.
It's enough to
Well,
harbor the Holy Spirit.
Thank you for
I've seen it.
Thank you for offering your ideas of how to get all the people to give us money to go to heaven on this episode of Coastal Oyster. But Martin Luther, I heard you got something up your butthole you'd like to share with us.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got a really good spot right here.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I got a really good spot.
There's kids watching. Be careful. This is a family show.
All right, so what I think about this is that basically you just gotta talk to God. You gotta talk to God and be like, hey God, my butthole itches. Hey God, can I help my butthole get relieved? Hey God.
You may not heard me for a second. I stepped out of the room, but I know you're wrong, Martin Luther.
But that's how you get paid. You learn about. Excuse me, Pope Clement. Have you ever heard of Preparation H?
I sure have. I've heard of all the preparations.
You heard about Preparation H in the 1500s.
Well, get to the point here, Martin.
I'm selling a spiritual pill you can stick up your butthole and talk to God directly.
Now, I understand that now, but I don't like it. Cardinal, let's
Yes.
get back to you. Now, what do you say about his idea? Because I'm trying to invest in one of you gentlemen.
I have non-anal solutions if that appeals to you.
I don't judge.
I could also do like some kind of pulley system if we rig up, the appropriate ropes. Being men of the cloth,
I hear
they
you
can be
talk-
good with ropes
No, no.
and burlap and all the earthy fibers.
I hear you talking about your fine materials, your ropes, your balsa wood ladders, your Jews on the bottom end, little bit of filter fish, keep them
I
happy
got
for a
duct tape
decade
too.
or so.
I can do duct tape at wholesale.
Right. So that's very interesting, and it's something that we've been going with for a while. If you didn't know, that's a little behind the scenes look at what's happening to Oyster Cloister. But back over to Martin. What's happening? Why would I invest in this? Why would the audience want to hear from you, sir?
My butthole itches.
And that's amazing. That's really something. Well,
I would like to state mine does not. I will not be distracted with such nether hygiene
Oh,
issues.
it's not nether, it's natural.
well, the two of you boys are definitely something special. Isn't that right, audience? That's right. So we'll bring it back around. So what I'm gonna say is that Martin, you's gonna go home right now.
No, I'm not.
You're out of here because
I'm not. I'm gonna talk about my butthole all day.
okay. Well, Clement the Seventh says you ain't going to heaven, and Cardinal Liston, you have got something very special.
Yes.
Now your wood might be soft, but it's the stuff we trying to climb on.
It's good
And when
wood, I promise.
I know it is, because we've been using it already. So, Martin Luther, why don't you see yourself out the loser's door?
Yes, I win.
And jump,
You won't here to last me, Clement.
jump into the minnow's tank and wait for them to etch you up, because that's how God works.
What do I get, a Huffy bike or something now?
You're going to want to hear this one.
That's quick.
Clarice, what does he got in store?
Cardinal Lister has won the ultimate prize of how to bring the poor people to heaven with false ladders. And with that, he will win 56 Huffy bicycles with absolutely no tires, a trip down to Cancun in the wonderful Sandals Resort.
Wait a minute, but I could. If I had a healthy bike, I could scratch my butthole faster
Well, that's
when
the
I
end of
ride
the show.
faster.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning
hey,
in.
Hey, dickhead!
Oh, thank you so much.
Suck my dick, Luther.
Fuck you! So that was great, because you know what? Like Clement kicked fucking your boy Martin out of the show.
Yes.
He kicked him out of the world with excommunicating that bitch.
The character I played is he's a factual character. It's Clement the Seventh. He was a pope.
Popey boy.
One of the how many popes was it? 3 or 4 that really hated Martin Luther. But
it was about 3 or 4. Yeah.
okay, but there was
Leo the 10th. There was Adrian the something. And,
Okay.
And
well, Clement.
yeah,
we know Clement the Seventh was not too fond of young Martin
His
Luther.
name was Clement.
yeah.
the Pope Clement.
Le Pope.
So basically, Martin got excommunicated.
Oh.
Originally, these theses were not really supposed to be like a call out to the church. Like, he wasn't trying to start anything. It was like supposed to be
Passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive.
Oh.
These aren't real, you know.
Yeah, correct. All right, so
Right.
basically the 95 thesis is the longest post-it note you've ever seen that your roommate posted up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly.
The 96th thesis was about to be like, if you take the last coffee, put on another pot, but he thought that was too passive aggressive and just rubbed
Exactly.
it out.
Right. So just to recap, the 95 thesis were a new idea of how to treat the people who worshipped under the Roman Catholic Church.
Right,
Correct?
yeah.
And it's a criticism of that.
Well, it's basically on indulgences.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the help of Johannes Gutenberg, who
Great name.
yeah, he made the first Western printer,
Right.
Movable
the printing
type.
press.
movable
yes.
type.
Yeah.
It was all Comic Sans.
Yeah, all card and papyrus. They had 2 fonts.
Oh,
okay.
What about Jokerman?
Fonts. Jokerman, that came later.
That was bonus.
like-
That was a couple years
yeah,
later.
that was when they first wrote the original Parliament. You know, they did
Jokerman. The Magna Carta.
Anyway, Magna Carta. Yeah. So he went on to he published these 95 theses.
These theses.
Yeah, it's just this is. And he made a version of the Bible in Common German, which had never existed before.
What's Common German?
It was always in Latin.
It was always
before.
in Latin.
Oh.
Right.
Well, German has like 2 versions. There's Higher German and like Common German.
Roman Catholic churches, they kept everything in Latin up to this point. It was kind of a way to keep everyone who followed in a headlock. Like, you have to come to us to learn your scripture. You have to come to
Yeah.
us to understand it. This gave a lot of... this basically occupied most of monks' times. They would have to just be
Yeah,
learning Latin.
scribing.
And, scribing.
Like,
and-
you wouldn't know the secrets of the Bible. It's like one of those fucking infomercials. Like, you don't know the secrets of this diet.
Right,
Because
exactly.
only I know.
Yes.
Because, like...
You don't know the secrets of male vitality until you order from my website, Infowars.com.
It just made him
Exactly.
redder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it did. His blood pressure went up. I don't know how you go up when you're at max, but his
Right.
blood pressure went up.
So Martin Luther, this is the start of the Protestant Revolution. And I want to get into the nitty-gritty details. I don't want to get into the religious theory too much, but I want you guys to know the differences between Protestantism and Catholicism
Okay.
that's going on right now.
Lay it on my a-religious ass.
It's gonna be very critical to the hypocrisy that Martin Luther actually has.
I love hypocrisy.
Yeah. So Martin Luther essentially believed there's more of a personal connection between God and the followers.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Right. So there was this thing called the doctrine of justification, which God's act of declaring sinners righteous. So essentially, there was no church. That meant there was no indulgences or anything. It was your relationship with God.
It's
Okay.
a personal thing.
Right. It's a personal thing. And he also didn't believe in purgatory. It's like you went to heaven. That's the whole,
It's up or down.
right. You
What's
go to
the,
heaven.
what's
you go
the
to hell.
scorecard like?
Yeah,
when you
binary.
punch
what's
down?
going on here? He also saw worshiping saints and relics as false idols. So he preferred really plain digs, instead of the blinged out, Catholic churches that had gold fucking leaf and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
He preferred Urban Outfitter over Abercrombie.
It was hip, dude.
Yeah.
Another thing, he didn't believe in a central religious figure like the Pope, because obviously, people
The
could
Pope's
just,
made of meat.
yeah, the Pope could just, you could just talk to God and the scriptures.
Yeah. So, may I add something?
Yeah.
For people who consider themselves spiritual but
Yeah.
not religious,
Oh, those
was this
those
the
folk.
kickstart my heart for that? Was this the ultimatum?
Very true. Yeah, it is. It kind of is a little bit.
It's like it's what happens in my bedroom. A guy who touches his butthole and doesn't stop masturbating told me this was the right thing.
Yes, exactly.
It's weird how those two always go together.
Well, you're gonna touch your butthole eventually if you masturbate constantly.
And
well, I
vice
mean,
versa.
where the male orgasm starts, the prostate,
Way up there.
Science.
it's way up there.
This is science now, but this is a religious episode, so
Right,
we
this
won't
is a-
talk about
yeah.
science. Don't want to talk about science now.
So he also interpreted the Bible as a strict interpretation. It's what God said, right? He didn't believe in. We talked about this in the Pussy Boy episode.
You keep
Vovilla.
calling him that.
Yeah, we talked about that. He didn't believe in higher criticism. So people should learn from the Bible in their native language, not Latin. And those are the words of God.
Why is that important?
Because you're reading from the own script. You're not having someone tell you lies.
But it's translated nonetheless.
This is real
We're gonna
news.
get
It's not
into that.
fake news.
Bringing into that.
We're getting into things.
Yeah.
I'll get into things.
And he also believed that people should not wage war in the name of God or resort to violence
Oh,
against other religions.
fucking boring.
All
That
right.
sounds good. Sounds good.
No, that's
Does it?
fine, but how we gonna get rid
Come
of those
on, Crusades,
sand
Travis. They were a blast.
Yeah, they were a great time. Basically, everything that I just said, he went against.
Oh,
people? Martin Luther?
Martin Luther went against.
Oh.
why? Dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was on the side of Martin Luther. I thought this was what he was trying to tell people. So
He
he
fucked
wants
up.
people to need the he's an Apple guy.
Yeah, he's Apple guy.
All right.
He wants you to convert.
Proprietary.
Yeah,
Let's
he wants
go
you to
with it.
convert, but at the same time, all those things I just mentioned about Protestantism, he actively did the opposite. So the first criticism, he didn't believe in a central religious figure like the Pope.
All right.
Although he wrote dozens of supplemental writings, hymns, and eventually became the voice and leader of the Protestant Revolution, and what he said was religious law.
Okay.
So you kind of see the hypocrisy there? That's what the Pope does.
Yeah. No one's above God. I'm going to be an agent that is on par with
Tells
God.
you what God's thinking.
Exactly.
I've been talking to God. We have pillow talk.
What does he say?
He says,
How does he feel about
You
the
look-
straw thing?
"You
in
look pretty
California?
stressed. You look stressed. You want to have a boys' night? God's looking for a fun time.
I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to go to brunch.
I'm trying to
and you
explain.
guys are getting me all fucking worked up.
Pillars of salt for all of you.
Yeah. All right, so another thing that I was saying, he was very into the strict interpretation of the Bible. Well, when Martin Luther was translating the Bible into common German, he added and embellished a lot of the translations to fit his brand of Christianity.
Oh, he's making propaganda.
Right, exactly. So he's like, so the voice of God said this, right? I'm changing to this a little bit. So it
Taco
agrees with me.
Tuesdays, 50 cents.
Yeah. Right, so he's just fucking added shit to the Bible willy-nilly, even though he just said.
Of course. No, well, God's got the final word, but they got something that God didn't put in here.
Yeah,
Check this
He totally
out.
meant this.
He meant this. Don't
He
worry,
meant what
God.
I say.
Oh, don't worry, he meant this. Trust me, I am very I like God.
I
Trust
like God.
Why do I keep turning
It's
Indian?
weird.
I don't know, dude. You're all Indian tonight.
There might be like a fucking helium.
Maybe
leak
I
down
think I
here.
might have the switch for you
Okay.
a little later.
Can you give me a beer? That might be the
Yeah,
switch.
can you give me a beer too?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get beers.
Yeah, I found one.
Let's get beers. Like God.
I'll take one.
Hell yeah. All right, so indulgences, the big one, right? The one that he rebelled against the Catholic Church for.
Get out of purgatory free coupons.
And while this isn't exactly like purgatory, it's still kind of fucked up that he was basically deciding what was a sin and what wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was selectively sinning or passing
Right.
judgment.
He's an
Exactly.
He's an abusive boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
I love you so much, but
He was a brown Christopher to a Rihanna.
Right.
you can't be caught drunk.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
That's
Wow,
That's
yeah.
dark, dude.
It's
That was
brown.
That's probably the most pop culture we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I regret everything.
I always bring up PT Cruisers. That's not pop culture at all.
What was that? What'd you
no.
find out on that? 2010?
2010 was the last year they
Oh, you
produced
looked
them.
it up?
Yeah, I did. Of
We had
course.
to.
I forgot what episode it was.
I mean,
Goddamn
fact checks.
facts.
Thesis.
Because
Thesis.
you can cite us on all your theses. We had one slight error.
I wouldn't even.
Offhandedly, I
They're
said
coming back, though.
PT cruises were discontinued in 2007, but it was 2010.
2019 PT Cruiser 2. Super Cruiser.
What is your ideal PT cruiser?
I like
Since
the
we're on
wood
it.
paneling one. It's just
It's
so,
one that's been
so cheese.
Tricked
Yeah.
out. Or
Yeah.
pimped out, rather. I want a goddamn frappuccino maker in my passenger seat. Instead of passengers. Just a coffee maker right there.
Yeah, I like it to be stretched a bit, limo style, and then I would like it to be slammed on 22s.
How are you gonna
22s, yeah,
How
exactly.
are you gonna maneuver away from land pirates in that monstrosity?
Just
Tom,
go straight, dude. It's all about speed.
All right, bringing it back to indulgences here.
if you want.
If I want to. All right, we just not do the podcast.
Lay it on me.
So this is a scenario where I think it's kind of fucked up with the whole indulgences and deciding what's a sin and what's not a sin.
Right. It's weird.
So a wealthy landowner by the name of Philip I hid Martin Luther while he was excommunicated. You know, he's hiding from the Catholics. He's basically a bandit at this point. So Philip consulted Martin Luther spiritually over a matter that Martin Luther knew was a sin,
Okay.
and that was polygamy.
Easy. Easy stuff.
That is a sin in the eyes of the Lord.
Exactly.
He made an Adam and he made an Eve.
Yeah. And Martin
That's-
Luther,
that's the couple. Let's
the
go.
cup. Yeah.
You be like them.
And Martin Luther told him, in this case, is all right. Just keep it a secret.
Give me money.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Wow. You see, I see hypocrites taking big swings, you know?
Uh-huh.
Petty.
It is. So Philip marries his second wife. And obviously the word gets out because he got fucking two broads.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Polygamy.
Yeah. So Philip is pressured to spill the beans on which priest married him. And Martin Luther, he comes to Martin Luther, and Martin Luther is like, hey, shut the fuck up. And his exact words were, tell a good and strong lie.
Oh.
Nice, Martin Luther.
Yeah.
Wow. I like I said, I didn't know much about him, but I thought he was just a good guy all around.
He's
No.
a liar, Thomas.
He's horrible.
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
know
pretty
anything about
shitty.
him. I just like why do we know about this guy?
He started Protestantism, and we live in a Protestant country.
We do. We do.
All right, so, and the final big point I want to talk about is
Final big tip.
the whole revolution and his whole anti-violence thing
Okay.
that he talks about.
Bring it on.
So Martin Luther, like I said, didn't want to participate in violence in a religious context.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he didn't believe in crusades or holy wars or anything like that.
Wait, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Before he beat the shit out of someone, he would go, "Close your eyes, Lord."
What's over there,
Yeah.
my lord?
Oh my God! Look at that!
Look at that! There's a man touching his butthole and
And
jerking
then
off.
beat the shit out of someone with a cricket bat or whatever the hell they call those things.
So there's many points about how fucked up this is. So first of all, when you start printing pamphlets to the poor and downtrodden about like the center of their community and how that center of their community is fucked and wrong,
Right.
like that is really radical shit. You know what I mean?
It's Matrix stuff.
It's Occupy Wall Street all over again.
I mean,
But
almost.
before again.
Yeah, no, I see your parallel, but almost to a bigger degree. Like this is like your mom's fucking wrong.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Because this is a church, dude. You listen to the church. So this is really radical shit.
Radical shit, your mom's fucking wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, psst.
You know how your mom cuts your sandwiches horizontal? She's fucking wrong.
Well, that's true.
You gotta go on the diagonal.
That's very
She's
true.
a nightmare.
You get
person.
fucking high as balls on those diagonal cut sandwiches.
Give me $5.
I mean, you think about these. Like, these are people that donated a lot of their money.
Huge
were,
amounts.
Were taxed by the church.
As poor fucks.
As poor people. Exactly.
fucks.
So what do you think's going to happen? People get really angry. And there's a revolt. And there's actually this thing in Germany called the Peasant War.
Oh.
Where people burned churches, killed priests, and nobles. It was like basically an all-out bloodbath.
Shit.
Wow, he started this
He started that.
just for funsies, really.
Well, by publishing shit against like their hierarchy.
He was the flint of a fire.
Excuse me, I need a good place to touch my butthole.
Do it here,
You got-
holy man.
You guys have anywhere I could touch my... Can you burn down that church so I could use the smoke to cover my body when I touch my butthole?
Right away, sir.
Exactly. So Martin Luther tried to cool people down because he didn't agree with that. Morally didn't agree with burning churches. He agreed with touching his butthole. But,
Hey, yeah.
you know, yeah.
Not that far.
Yeah, not that far. Hey, calm down.
Why burn the church when you can do this?
Yeah. Look at me.
Chris Angel all over again.
Coochie coo.
I'm all about the all over agains tonight.
But at the same time, while people were burning churches, he still actively printed incendiary comments about Catholics. You know what I mean? So he's like, don't do that. They're fucking bastards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I got something for you. It's called spiritual liberation. These guys might be getting in the way. Maybe not. They need to be have their fucking heads kicked in. But
Does it
don't
smell
go do it. Quotation marks. I'm doing quotation marks for everyone at home.
Don't go do it.
Don't go do that
Don't it?
on my court.
My blood is
my-
dripping.
It's good. I gotta go touch my butthole. You can do whatever while I'm looking this way.
So another thing was during the 1500s, the Holy Roman Empire and its kings and nobility. Because if you think of the Holy Roman Empire was more like a coalition. So the Pope was... yeah.
What was the Pope, Travis?
Yeah, the Pope was... The Pope in Italy was like the overall monarch, but there were kings and nobles that owned their own lands.
Keep forgetting
It's
the
like
Pope's in
collective,
Italy.
collective, right?
You just imagine this, like you're some you're Clement the Seventh, and it's just a beautiful day in Rome, and there's birds flying everywhere, and people are like making pasta. You can just hear the sound. of,
Mamma
like-
mia!
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of old women's hands making pasta in the
Crunch.
distance, and all of a sudden you just hear a bunch of brown-wearing people just coming in, touching their buttholes, like,
I might be angry or in the middle of an anal orgasm. The world may never.
He was just trying to get. He was just trying to get close to God, dude. Get that prostate. Give a little tug-a-luggy.
yeah, he's just drinking his
G-spot
espresso.
stands for the God spot. It does not.
So all these kings and
Grafenberg.
nobles were instructed by the Pope to start a war with the Ottoman Turks, which that area is like the Middle East.
Were they butthole
Turkey.
touchers?
Turkey was the center of it at the time. It was a great
And Iraq and all that area.
it was a great place to put your feet up.
Yeah.
Ottoman. See what I've done
Hey, zing!
See what I've
Look at
done?
here. You'll be here for a couple episodes.
I hate how long
there?
that took
It's
me.
amazing.
So
I want a divorce, Tom.
the Ottoman
We'll talk
Turks.
after the show.
The Ottoman Turks were Muslim. Now Martin had read the Quran, and he had deemed Islam the work of the devil.
Oh,
You just see him flipping through a yellow page. Just,
fuck this entire thing.
what? What? No pork? What? No images? What? What?
Assalamu alaikum. Ooh, scratch.
Yeah,
scratch.
scratch.
Oh, Muhammad Siyah.
Can't touch my ball. Can't shave my ball. What? What?
Harambe.
So anyway, he was sort of kind of in words tolerant to Islam, kind of. I mean, he called it the work of the devil, but at the same time he's like, let them practice it. I don't want to ban the Quran.
Yeah, they got their sand. We got our dirt. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't want to ban the Quran. And I also feel like part of that was like, I want to use the Quran as ammunition against them, so don't ban it so I can fucking cite it.
See how many typos
Okay.
you got?
Yeah.
That's a comma splice. You
Exactly.
fucked up.
And one of the things he said was, let the Turk believe and live as he will, just as one lets the papacy and other false Christians live.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this is Martin Luther really outlining his idea of what he thought of the Roman Catholic Church at this point. It's just as valid as that, but I still believe in the Christian God.
Right. Like my Christianity is better than your Christianity.
Right. So we'll take him out. We'll let this simmer a bit.
He opposed all that shit. He didn't like that war essentially because it was a holy war and essentially a crusade. But he would go around from king to king in Germany or Prussia, these German states, and tell the king to declare peace and then attack them on a geopolitical
That's
basis.
fucked.
Oh, you dick.
So he's like, no, you guys are fighting because it's religion. Fuck that, just fight them.
This is the same roommate with the passive aggressive shit
Yeah.
on the refrigerator.
Changing the Wi-Fi password.
Saying,
Semantics.
Hey, sorry I argued with you about the milk before. Have some milk. And then getting on their ass about the electric bill.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Well, looks like you run your
Some petty shit.
You're running your air conditioner a lot more than I am, bud.
Roommates.
If this whole, Turk war and starting, rebellions wasn't enough, we're going to blow this whole shit on keep your head down, resort to nonviolence, worship God. That's it.
God.
Yeah.
I'm
He did.
excited.
So which religion did Martin Luther hate the most?
I'm guessing Jews.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding.
yeah.
I would have guessed the Muslim.
Yep, Martin Luther hated Jews. Throughout his career, he published tons of material on how evil the Jews were. He called them the rejected people and the murderers of Christ.
Oh.
Well, he's not wrong. They definitely killed Christ.
Well,
And they have
What do
been
you mean
rejected.
One of them killed the Christ.
Well, collectively, they all kind of nodded their
yeah, but
heads.
Jesus was a
Barabbas?
Jew.
Well,
That was his struggle. Was he was like, oh, Jesus was Jew.
that's how they started something else.
Yeah.
Like-
So
Judaism 2.0.
yeah. So, but he hated Jews. And in 1543, he wrote a 60,000 word treaty called Von den Juden und ihren Lüden, which means
It rhymes.
the Jews and their lies.
Okay. So 60,000 fucking words, right? Right?
Yep.
But they're German words, which are fucking 12 times as long as English
It's
words.
a very long book.
Yeah.
You couldn't read that on one.
You could drop that on your mother's head and kill her.
Yeah, I mean, it's like On the Road, but stupider somehow.
Mm-hmm. In the book, he calls for Protestants to do the following 7 things.
It's a lot.
Number 1.
Ain't no 3-piece.
Yeah, I'm doing one thing.
Fuck it.
Yeah, number 1. To burn down Jewish synagogues and schools and warn people against them.
All right. When
Number
you say
1,
that,
terrible.
when you say that, what do you actually mean?
Watch
I mean-
out! It's on fire. Watch out!
It's on fire!
Oh, Lord.
It should be on fire, but watch out!
Get the water. Recris, oh, Lord.
Oh, Recris, get the water! Number 2, to refuse to let Jews own their own houses amongst Christians.
Sounded like rap lyrics almost. Refuse the Jews to own houses.
Yeah. Number 3, for Jewish religious writings to be taken away. So the Quran's fine,
That's like book burning.
Really?
but the Jewish texts,
Ah,
the
scriptures.
Torah is not cool.
yeah, left to right, dog.
Exactly.
Other way around.
Whether we're all
Can't
reading
have
it.
the other way around. It's got to be left to right all day.
Yeah.
Yay.
Number 4, for rabbis to be forbidden to preach. Get rid of that.
I mean,
What are they supposed to do? Rabbi?
Number 5, to offer no protection to Jews on highways.
all right.
All right, this is getting obscure.
Number 6, for the usury to be prohibited and all silver and gold to be removed, aside from keeping and given back to Jews who truly convert.
Standard hating Jew trick.
Yeah, I mean,
forbid usury.
what was that other guy who did that? Oh, Hitler. He was big on that.
Yeah.
He was big on that.
Yeah, that
And
guy.
Finally, number 7, to give young, strong Jews flail, axe, spade, and spindle, and let them earn their bread in sweat and brow. To never do that.
So never let the Jews
Never
be
let
the
them-
Don't give him a fair
brawler.
chance.
Don't
Yeah,
let them
okay.
word.
All
work.
right.
Oh. So he's a upstanding pillar of community, this gentleman.
Exactly. Terrible. Terrible human being.
The force.
You don't learn that shit in 6th grade.
No, you don't.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
That's rough.
He also said it was a fault that we didn't slay them all.
Oh.
Another quote that he said was, God's anger with them was so intense that gentle mercy will only lead to them making it worse, while sharp mercy will reform them a little. Therefore, in any case, away with them.
Step in line.
He was anti-Semitic. I get it now. Oh.
Yes.
I get it.
It's coming around.
Yeah, whoa.
It's
He doesn't
happening.
like it.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that shit.
Well, I didn't know that about Martin
Have
Luther.
you tried a latke, sir?
They're gorgeous.
Oh,
Oh my God.
I can't believe an animal didn't die for that. You know what I
I
mean?
know. It's one of those impressive things.
Now, as being somewhat Jewish myself, I must say, there's no amount of Jewish cuisine that makes up for gefilte fish if you don't like gefilte fish. Now, on a continuation of that, I love gefilte fish,
Oh, yeah.
but no one. It's good stuff.
I like it.
Most people begin to violently throw up when they even smell it.
It's very true. It's very true. It's like that. What's that Swedish thing they have in a can?
Oh, I forgot the name of that.
Yeah,
I'll
where,
never
like, you
remember the
you'll
name
get
of
evicted if you open it.
it. Yeah, that's the.
You know who probably knows? Joanne. She probably knows.
Oh, from Iceland. Yeah.
Oh,
they got some
yeah.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, she'll know. So anyway, that is really terrible shit. You know.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Garbage.
but tell me, does that not sound familiar in 20th century Germany?
I mean, I
But
sorry to
Are
ruin
you
your script, but I
referencing
kept pulling
something?
it up before.
Yeah, you did. You mentioned it.
Yeah, but like if people got behind this stuff, we wouldn't have great Jews like Steven Spielberg and Jared Kushner and all these
what's going on here?
all the real good
All
ones.
the great ones.
Good eggs.
Yeah, all the good ones.
Those good eggs.
So the reason why it sounds so familiar is because Martin Luther's work, if not inspired, was definitely the justification for the Nazis anti-Semitism.
Oh,
Yes.
you're a party pooper.
Martin Luther's teaching was the centerpiece of German learning for centuries. And by the time the Third Reich had begun, this was like what everyone had known.
They all
It's
knew
all,
it already.
it's all that
Yeah.
there was.
That's all that it was. Like, you know, when we grew up, we read Ethan Frome, which was depressing.
I didn't.
Right.
I'm
Terrible.
so glad.
Everyone knew it, but no one was participating. Well, let's go back to jogging on the left side of the road so we can see the cars coming.
I mean, it makes sense.
Exactly. Almost every anti-Semitic propaganda distributed by the Nazis had some quote or teaching from Martin Luther. And Heinrich Himmler, who was actually a Catholic,
Oh,
which
really?
doesn't really make much sense.
Well, they just hated Jews. It was
Yeah.
it was a common thing. Did he have a sick-ass Martin Luther back piece tattoo?
Probably.
Old English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old English lettering.
Across the deltoids.
Yeah, the belly
Yeah.
rocker.
I think
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
had it in...
Belly back rocker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he just had it like Martin Luther in Chinese on his arm.
Oh,
'Cause it
God,
was
yeah.
sick, dude.
But if you translate it, it said Martin Lufa.
Scores.
It's the closest thing they had.
It says
to
Marty Scorsese.
Yeah, Martin.
Martin Scorsese.
Oh, he's a better good. He says Martin Scorsese.
So Himmler was a very notable fan, and he infused Luther's ideals into Aryan law.
Aryan law sounds pretty bad.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What was one of the most notable things that the Nazis did to the Jews besides gassing them? Like before that.
You can't just fucking
Sorry,
say that
but-
sentence
Yeah,
and then
besides gassing them. What was
Well,
it? How did it start? How did it start?
They never let them play any reindeer games with them.
Tom.
Oh my God, that's terrible, Tom. But you can say it. You get away with it.
It's fine. Don't worry.
No,
it's
half
jokes.
of them can get away with it.
It's jokes.
Oh, joke.
It's all jokes.
What's our hashtag?
All right.
Hashtag Danky Shane.
Our embracism.
Embraces.
All right.
Yes, of course. Of course we know
All
these
right.
are jokes.
So let me rephrase it. What was the way that you knew you were Jewish in Nazi Germany?
You looked down on your chest and saw a yellow star.
the Jude star.
Yeah.
Das Juden.
The yellow star. Mm-hmm. That was the badge that marked the Jews in Nazi Germany.
Yes.
And it was created by 7 Protestant regional church confederations. So basically these confederation of churches in Nazi Germany came up with this whole idea.
It came up. It took 7 whole people to come up with that idea.
Yeah,
What a bunch of fucking dummies.
This is how we tell them apart. Give me the stapler.
Maybe we should make them paint their nails red.
Or have them wear shoes on their hands.
So their reasoning, these churches, these Protestant churches, their reasoning.
We'll get them to walk backwards, too. On days of the week that end in Y. And if they can only kickflip, too.
You show me that you can kickflip.
Yeah.
Show me you can kickflip.
Yeah. show me.
Kickflipping.
Tony
Kickflipping.
Hawkstein.
Tony Hawk styling.
How did we get here? What are we doing? How did we get here?
All right, so their reasoning behind this whole yellow star thing was since after his bitter experience, Martin Luther had already suggested preventative measures against the Jews and their expulsionary measures from German territory.
All right, then
All
I like
right,
them.
cool.
Yeah. So basically those 7 things I mentioned before were the reason why like that whole yellow star thing happened
Das
So let's
Boten
start
for
with Martin
Don
Luther.
Juten.
in the 1500s.
And also, it's very easy to spot yellow.
yeah.
So,
Start
Kudos.
wearing yellow, wearing
you go.
yellow.
ugh.
Ugh.
Yellow submarine.
Ugh. All right. So you're asking how this motherfucker
seg.
died? Because you knew him as a great person, kind of,
Going-
in school.
He had at least
What did you
95
guys think
ideas.
about him going in before I told you about all this?
Oh,
Cody, would you like to take this one?
he was bark. He was the bark of humanity, just tasteless and dry.
That's what you went in going in before this?
Yes.
All right.
He's just the guy I avoided learning all the 95 things.
Yeah,
because honestly, 95 things is a lot.
It's a lot of things. Like to add on what Cody's saying, we were only taught that he stood up to the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
That's really it.
And
It
the
was
printing
like-
press thing.
This was, yeah, well, this was not a this is not something that was taught conceptually as being so deep. It was like, hey, there was this religion, and this one gentleman did not so much like it.
Right. So how'd he die?
Did he scratch his butthole so deep it touched his brain?
Wow.
Oh.
You need like a 4-digited arm to do that.
No, that's like
well,
a-
no, he never mentioned anything about nail cutting.
No, I was.
Yeah, I didn't. But that would be like a Viking send-off for this dude, man. The scratching his butthole till he dies.
Yeah.
Oh!
What do you mean, like?
Papa, coming home!
What do you mean, like the friction starts a fire for his funeral fire?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wow! So later in his life, he suffered from vertigo, fainting, tendinitis. Is what the ear thing?
Tinnitus.
And he had cataracts in one eye.
That sounds like head problem. All that sounds like
All
head problem.
head problems. And also keep in mind, throughout his career, when I mentioned all these things that were wrong with him, he got more and more anti-Semitic as time went on.
Head problems. All head problems.
That's what screwy people tend to
Yeah,
do.
exactly. And also
The more
another,
sick in your head you get, the more you blame Jews for it.
and also another thing is that
Even if you're Jewish yourself.
another weird thing about Martin Luther, I mentioned all this Jewish hate, is that he really didn't have any contact with Jews. You know
Never
what I mean?
even saw one.
No, like, I mean, his town had been purged of Jews fucking 100 years prior. So there weren't many in the town because, you know, everyone hates the Jews back then.
Well,
for some reason or another.
It doesn't really matter where in society or timeline we are. You're
Right.
always going to hate the thing you don't even get.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting real as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Jews are something that exists, and obviously he doesn't get.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. So anyway, he's all fucked up in the head. And the symptoms got worse and worse. There was more physical problems. He started to get kidney and bladder stones. He had arthritis. He eventually ruptured an eardrum from an infection.
Fuck.
Yeah. And it led to heart palpitations and shit. So he's crotchety, old, and fucked up. And
Did he turn into that giant rock man from Never Ending Story?
except the whole fucking like, fuck Jews.
Hello, little Jew.
Scratch my butthole.
Where's your Jew pony?
I feel like the cast has been very anti-Semitic. Can we have 3 cheers for Jews?
Dude,
hip,
I
hip.
love,
As a,
he is Jewish, and I
no,
love
that's fine,
Jews.
yeah. You don't know.
Hip hip, Torah.
Even
Hip
Jews.
hip, Torah. Hip hip.
Torah.
Yeah, but even as a Jew, no Jew loves Jews. Jews are just, they're people.
They're great, nice people.
I don't like anyone. Why would I like Jews?
They're nice people.
Because it's your religion.
They don't deserve this shit.
Deceive it.
Deceive it.
They don't deserve persecution. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Nah.
No one does.
No.
And
they've gotten the
yeah.
brunt of it.
And I
throughout
think
a lot
as
of
Martin
modern
Luther
history.
as Martin Luther grew older, he kind of, I know he had a lot of fucking hemorrhoids and shit and all that garbage, but he kind of grew to understand that. And in his last sermon, he said, "The Jews are our public enemy, and if they could kill us all, they gladly would, and often they do." That was his last words in public.
Wow, really?
Yes.
That's steep.
Damn.
That was like the end of his sermon.
Please
was
tell
that.
me.
So after that sermon, he started to get chest pains, was bedridden for a couple days, and started spewing all this, Lord, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Take me. Take me.
Okay.
Jeebus.
Right. Until eventually a stroke shut him up because he couldn't speak after
That's
that.
what those do.
Nice.
He's like, hey, Rod.
Oh, they Muppetized him.
Her.
And then shortly after that, he died at the age of 62. And that was in 1546.
So he died of a lot of complications. Stroke was the one that really pulled him.
That was like the cherry on top.
It's science.
You didn't even realize you did that.
What'd I do? I just saw you laughing at me.
No, the stroke was the thing that pulled him.
What? I don't get it.
Oh, I get what
I don't get it still.
There was a masturbatory joke that went over.
Oh!
That took me a second.
You didn't
Damn it,
realize
Nobody
you did that.
No, I didn't. Because I saw you laughing, I started laughing at you laughing, and then I realized
Write in if
that,
you got that before Tom and Travis.
God.
Write in if you're intelligent things. Like
I still don't get it.
Did you get Tom's joke before Tom got it? Go for it.
We're
So
so
that-
funny we don't even know it.
That is Martin Luther. That's all the shit you didn't learn about him.
Travis, I
in
was so
fucking grade
half
school.
learned on this boy until you came along.
Thank you.
I am full learned on this boy.
He's a piece of shit.
he is a piece of shit that adores pieces of shit.
Yeah, he loves touching his butthole. He's a piece of shit.
He's a fingerer.
Hey,
I'm not willing to say he's a fister, but he definitely fingered. Am I right,
he
Travis?
could be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, I don't hate on people who touch their buttholes.
Yeah, no,
No,
I do
no,
that
no.
sometimes too.
Hey, it's
No,
part of being Travis. It's part of being a healthy human being. Is seeing what's
you gotta
going on
inspect
downstairs.
your butthole. Sometimes you're like, the flesh is like a walnut.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I
know
I
what's
suppose-
going on downstairs.
It's the package. It's when you touch your
Oh, yeah.
butthole, tell other people how to live, and hate Jews all in one.
Yeah.
You're a garbage man.
Little garbage boy. And inspire the Nazis.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if you inspired the Nazis, stop listening to the podcast.
Well, Jesus kind of did.
This is your second
Well-
one that inspired Nazis, isn't it, Travis?
Who was the other one?
Coco.
Oh, she
Well,
was
no,
a
she
Nazi.
wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
inspiring. She just became one. She was a little
Okay,
butthole.
you have one inspiration for the
I have
Nazis.
two Nazis.
No, you have one inspiration for the Nazis, and you have one who got inspiration
Join
from
the club.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're both
yeah.
dickheads. But this guy's more of a dickhead. Because if you think about it, if Martin Luther hadn't wrote all this shit about Jews, it might have been different in Germany. Because they were learning that shit for centuries
Yeah.
before the Nazis came about.
Damn it, Nazis.
Yeah.
Protest.
Anyway.
Well, thank you for bringing in Martin Luther.
Yeah.
This has been a very interesting episode.
I love
You
it.
didn't
A lot
think.
of things I might regret saying popped in there, but a lot of things I stand by.
Let's see what survives the final edit.
Yes, y'all.
If you know anything about Martin Luther that we didn't talk about, tweet at us or whatever. You can get at me personally at Sauntcht, SAUNTCHT on Twitter.
You can follow me at Travis Legion with two E's.
And you're on the Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah,
nowadays.
both of them. You can touch them on both.
I am Cody McCann. You can follow me on the Twitter at Cody McCann, CODYMCCA.
And collectively, you can follow us at RoastMortemCast on Twitter and Instagram. You can even shoot us a Gmail. And yeah, like I said, if you got anything else about Martin Luther that we didn't cover here, we would like to hear.
Yeah.
Swing
I would.
it at us.
I really would.
I would tickle you if you were in front of me.
Yeah.
I just want you all to remember where the moral of the story from this episode. Where is the male prostate?
In the God
Yeah.
spot.
In the God spot.
In
In
the
the
God,
God
yeah.
spot. Thank you, Shane. Love yous.
Take that
Thank
home.
you, Shane. Done crunching over there, Doug?
Nearly.
All right, I'm gonna wait till
Don't
you
mind me.
Sounds
get all sexually crunched in the corner over there.
Just hanging out of the window,
Let me
watching the asphalt grow.
Asphalt grows.
Yeah.